What's up, guys? ClutchFan37 here. As many of you know, I have not made a video in the last month and a half or so. And from the title of the video, this is just kind of where I've been. Excuse me. Where I've been, what I've been up to, and why I haven't made videos. So, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I made a post a couple days back about me leaving my job. I didn't get fired. It wasn't like a bloodbath. It was just, I don't know. It was better for me to leave the job, and I kind of should have a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, but I just figured it was the time. So the reason I've been making videos a lot is because, as many of you know, or maybe don't know, I worked at a store called Breakaway for a year and a half, and then in January, Laxworld wanted to merge with us, I guess, or bought us out or something. I don't know. So when we heard about it, there was a lot of mixed emotions. No one really knew what the deal was, what would happen to our employment, things like that. But they assured us that nothing would change besides we would now be ideally Laxworld, but with the Breakaway name. So I was fairly excited because that means our store branch, which was 5 stores, would move to Laxworld's branch, which would be 20 stores in total, including ours. Which just means more connections, cooler things like going to a tournament. Instead of having a Laxworld booth and a Breakaway booth, we would just have one big booth for employees from Laxworld and Breakaway, things like that. But in that merge, the owners of Laxworld came down to Breakaway in Colorado, and they're from Maryland, to help set up the whole system and everything. And I met with them, talked to them. We all did kind of like employee interviews where we just talked about who we are, what we do at the store, things like that, give them an idea of who we are. And I told them all about how I string most of the sticks there, how I make my own YouTube videos of reviews and stuff, and they were really, really cool about it. They're like, that's awesome, we'd love to get you to do some product reviews for us, like a minute and a half, just talking about a head, and then we'll post it up and pay you, for 3-4 hours of your time on the side. And I was really excited. I was like, sweet, I get to have my face on Laxworld's, website. So fast forward 3 weeks, they were still down in Denver. I was at LaxCon in Maryland this year, which was awesome, by the way. Hopefully I got to meet some of you guys. And they had checked, or they merged both the computer systems, so we had one computer system that worked for both, and they had to merge the employee purchases in the last year, just for, warranty reasons, whatever, see who had bought what, and we have records of that stuff. And they noticed that I had bought, a couple $1,000s worth of lacrosse equipment, mostly heads and some shafts. And that kind of raised some suspicion with them. So they went through a couple of hours a day matching up my purchases with the things that they had seen in my videos, my Instagram posts, and Instagram posts, and things on my website. And they try to match it up to make sure, I wasn't stealing stuff. Because, as many of you know, I did sell an abundance of gear. I'd make a post about 15 heads at one time, and they'd be gone in 2 weeks, which, I understand that's totally reasonable. But to their surprise, I had not stolen a thing. Everything was accounted for receipt-wise, minus 6 heads and like 2 shafts, those heads being a couple String King heads that Laxworld doesn't carry and won't carry. String King shafts, same thing, and 2 Under Armour Command heads. But I had gotten those before they were released by Under Armour so that I could take them to LaxCon, string them up, and things like that. So I told them that, showed them the emails from my Under Armour guy, and it worked out. They're like, okay, cool. So that was in January. And then since then, about once a month. No, rewind. So they had told me, like, we see what you do, and we're going to have to ask you to stop doing it. We don't want you buying stuff and selling it. I can't buy stuff with my employee discount, string it up and sell it to make an extra $20 a head, which, whatever, whatever makes them happy. At first, I was very confused and like, okay, well, that's stupid. Why can't I do that? If I buy it, then it's mine. Then I should be able to do what I want with it. Whatever. So, for the month after they told me that, I had stopped selling stuff almost completely. I still had, 12 heads sitting around where I'd string up like 2 or 3 and post them and try and get rid of them. just trying to do it under the radar so it really didn't alarm them. They didn't think that I was stealing stuff or buying stuff and selling it. But every time I made a post on YouTube or Instagram or on my website, they monitored it like a hawk. And anytime something else went up for sale or I made a post about, some cool item I got, they would immediately talk to the owner of Breakaway who still works there and say like, hey, Josh is posting this, like, can you check to make sure he bought it or figure out where it came from. So I think at that point I probably should have left, and this was, say, maybe early February, mid-February, but wanting to keep my job, I just stopped, If you do follow my Instagram and my website, you'll see here and there I have posted some things for sale, but those have been things I get from other places, not from work. So that's why I stopped making videos, just because I really didn't feel like I had a whole lot to make videos on. I can still do reviews here and there, but I was more focused on, school, lacrosse, and trying to work as much as I can to save up money for summer. So our season ended, blah, 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 things like that, whatever. So Lax World for the last 3 to 4 months had kept a very close eye on me, and it made it very uncomfortable to come to the work spot or workplace, because every time I came in, I was worried that, they were live streaming videos to watch my every move, which I can understand, because I guess I have a decent social media presence, and I have a decent amount of followers and friends in higher places that I guess you could see me as a threat to their company for getting stuff, selling stuff, whatever. So, sorry. Breakaway, when it was Breakaway, used to get stuff directly from the manufacturers. So we'd email Nike and say, hey, can we get 12 white Lakotas and some CEOs and stuff, and they'd check it off, send it to us. But since merging with Laxworld, we have to go through Laxworld's warehouse, and we'd send them emails and phone calls like, hey, we need 6 white Lakota U's, can you send some down? And they would send us like 2 white and 4 black. So for the last 2 to 3 months, Laxworld / Breakaway, the store I worked at, was just very limited on things. So it wasn't, I don't know, it really made it tough, because people come in looking for, let's say, a CEO, and I'd be like, we have one, but it's in Volt. If you want a white one, you better just go down the street to Total Lacrosse and get one. So an issue with that as well is inventory at Breakaway. We used to plug it in ourselves once we got the boxes, saying like, okay, we received the 12 Lakotas and the 8 CEOs. We put stickers on them, hang them up, but now Laxworld would do it from the warehouse electronically. They would, put a whole bunch of stuff in a box for us, put it into our inventory, and say, okay, we're sending you this stuff. It's in your inventory. Once you get it, put it on the shelf. So ideally that was a little better, made our job a little easier. But there were 2 or 3 instances where they had shipped us the wrong box of stuff. So let's say, alright, so where I work in Littleton, there's a store, Breakaway, which is now Laxworld Breakaway. And in Denver, about 20 minutes from our store, there's an actual Laxworld. So many times, or 2 or 3 times to be specific, they had swapped the labels on accident, and they'd sent us stuff that the Denver store was supposed to get, and vice versa. And we'd email them saying like, hey, we still need some Lakotas. And they said, well, we sent you 6. Where'd they go? And immediately when that happened, they came after me and said like, hey, Josh can't work. Let's do inventory. Let's make sure he didn't just nab these 6 Lakotas. So I did that, and they found out 2 or 3 times that the stuff we had received in the boxes was supposed to go to Denver, and Denver was supposed to come to us. So not a single apology, not a single like, hey, we're sorry, not like a whole, oh, that's our fault. It was just fingers pointed at me, which, whatever, stuff happens. So after all that stuff, I don't know, it was very uncomfortable for me, to where I would get texts from my manager saying like, hey, you can't work today, I need to work, we got to figure some things out. And he was a really cool guy. I liked him a lot. I went to school with him. I'd worked with him for 2 years, and he was just straight up honest with me. And he would say like, hey, Laxworld thinks you're stealing stuff. That's why you can't work today. That's why I need to work so we can do inventory. And, you know, that's fine. You know, do what you need to do. Take care of what you need to do. Give me a day off here and there. But I just found it to be absolutely bizarre that Laxworld would automatically jump the gun and point the finger at me, which, I don't know. I guess, well, before I end this video, so the thing that really set me over was all the inventory stuff. They thought, wow, that they had thought I was stealing stuff, that they had told me my side business had to cease completely. It was just too much and overwhelming, and I hated it. I used to love going to work and stringing sticks and talking with customers, but now I dread it for the last 3 months. Just, I felt they were watching me. And the thing that really, really set me over was I was working about 2 weeks ago with my friend, and we were playing Pass in the store because, you know, it was a Sunday, or Saturday, there was no customers, there was some sports thing on or something, so no one was coming in. And we had hit the ceiling, and about 20 feet away from where we hit, a small camera had fallen from the ceiling and hit the ground. And we looked at it, didn't damage it, and we realized that it was not the cameras that we had in the store at all. It was a brand new one, and it was directly pointed, you know, so it was up behind us, and it was directly pointed at the register. I don't know if it was aimed towards me, the reason they got that, to make sure I wasn't, you know, quote unquote, maybe taking money out of the register or swapping things or whatever it may be. But that's what really threw me off, was I saw that, and I had asked the owner at the time and said, hey, look, we knocked a camera over, we're sorry, I don't think it's damaged. If it is, let me know, I'll pay for it, but why is there a camera? And he said, well, we're watching you to make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be. And, you know, that was pretty much the last straw for me. Was for the last 4 months I had been watched like a hawk. I told I could not buy things and sell things to you guys, which, you know, I didn't necessarily make a whole lot of money off doing that, but it's what made me happy, was I could come home and string up 2 or 3 sticks a day, sell them to you guys for a fairly good price in my opinion, and just get my work out there and provide well-strung sticks to people on the side, as well as stringing sticks for the store and people who came in the store. So the last 3 to 4 months I've been very, I don't know, cautious about what I post on Instagram, things I had posted on YouTube, my website, things like that. So I quit my job working there because I couldn't take being watched like a hawk. I couldn't take, you know, once a week, hey, you can't work, we're doing inventory, make sure you're not stealing stuff. And, you know, every time they did, everything was in the store. There was nothing gone. You know, they had the camera point at the register for who knows how long, and they could have easily, you know, had I been doing something I shouldn't be, they could have easily seen that and accused me and gotten me fired or whatever. And they never could find anything because, you know, it's just not who I am. So I'm sorry to you guys for not making videos and letting the workers, people, get the best of me. I promise that'll change. Hopefully doing a video a week, or at least close to that. I got a lot of cool reviews I gotta do, some Aero Lacrosse stuff. If you guys are watching, I'm sorry I owe you guys a review. Just hopefully you understand. The East Coast Dives Carbon Pro, favorite shaft out there right now, and things like that. But I'll be coming back. I'll be dyeing heads, stringing heads, selling things on the side to you guys, and kind of making that my job for at least summer. So sorry you guys. Hopefully you can understand kind of why I haven't been doing a whole lot of posts and selling stuff. This is not a shot at Laxworld. This isn't me saying stop shopping there if you do. It's just the reality of business and the workspace and things like that. And I kind of want to give you guys why I left. Not that it really matters to you guys, but it's just kind of a big moment in my life of being accused of all this stuff. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I promise to be a lot better at making videos and posts and reviews and things like that. Also, if you do not follow me on Instagram, I did get a vinyl cutter about a month ago, and I've been really messing around with it. Dyeing heads. My first dye job came out pretty crappily, but I've gotten a lot better since. So just real quick, this is my gamer for now. It's a Command U. I did kind of a purple and white, very subtle elephant print kind of thing. and put my number up here, number 2. I was trying the Joe Walters style pocket. I did my best I could to put his pattern from East Coast Dies into a command, and looked at a lot of pictures of what he used in the indoor season. So obviously he has one more down here, but being a college player I can't have that, and being in summer I can use striker, but I'm trying to keep it as, you know, college legal as possible since I'm still playing. That's on my Carbon Pro, but sorry, I've had a couple beers. I don't know why I told you that. I'm sorry, but yeah. So dying heads, stringing heads, selling heads, it's all going to come back. Give me a couple more days so I can get videos set up and record it and then upload it for you guys. But yeah, I just want to give you guys the background of where I've been, why I haven't been doing videos, and hopefully you guys will understand why I haven't. It wasn't because I didn't want to. It's just kind of trying to lay low and keep my job, which shouldn't have. So thanks for watching, guys. Definitely check my YouTube channel for the next, you know, couple of days. I'll be posting as many videos as I can this week to kind of get back up to speed and get you guys watching some of my content. So yeah, that's about it.